There is something I want to say which comes to
Yes.
me. I mean, the question you asked about what could be the contrary of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
What is coming to me, it's also coming, I think, from very, very ancient memories.
Mm-hmm.
I will see, like on the balance, I will see guilt and I will see light. And I always had the feeling that if I let all the light comes you know, in a way, I won't be able to live
To live what?
because to live my life, to live to
Uh-huh.
be who I am, because I will be the target of jealousy. I will be the target of this, of that, you know. And in a way, it's easier to remain in guilt and to
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
be smaller and and to be half of yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, it's also associated with fear, you know,
Mm-mm.
embodying that life mission and that amount of life which is just infinite.
Mm-hmm. But that's also a program. That's also a program. Does this program still serve us?
Of course.
So I want to bring up a story, okay? This is the story of Miriam, okay? When she went to Amram, to her father, and she said to her father, Daddy, you're worse than Paro because Paro did a decree on only the boys, to go and kill the boys. And you, by deciding that all the men in the Jewish community, the Jewish people have to separate from their wife, you also condemn the girls so they could not be born and live. Okay. And his father Amram said, You know what, my daughter, you're right. And he went back to his wife, Yocheved, and all because he was the leader of the community. All the other men of the community went and back with their wives. Okay. Because whatever Amram was doing, everyone was doing. Okay. And so this is how Moshe was born, because he was born after that story. Now the question is, does Amram, that is like the leader, he was like a sommity, does he need little Miriam to come and tell him this? Why did he decide to listen at this moment? Because there are signs that show us when we are just before the opening up of the Geula, that we are like really, really in the darkness of the darkness. And right after that, if you give a last push, you're about to go to Geula, you know that you have to do everything in your power to give that last push. And that's why he decided to listen to Miriam at this moment, because he knew that even if it was like a very dark time, and so dark that if a boy would be born, he would have to abandon him in the Nile. Still, he was able to see some signs that that if they would give a last push, they could come to Geula. And he was right, because Moshe was born. Yes, he had to abandon him in the Nile, but I think it was 120 years later or 80 years later. 80 years later, God spoke to Moshe and started the snare, all the process of Paro. Yeah, 80. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he still had to wait some time, after that decision. The decision to go against all odds. Yes, it could be dangerous to show your light. Yes, it might have cost you your life and some of the past lives that you went through. But right now, if we don't use our light, all of us, maybe we are not using all the opportunities that this time is giving us. And the signs are here that the time is now, that we have to use this time. And all of us all of you who are representative here and who are going to open other circles, and those circles are going to open other circles. You're all here for a reason. And that reason is that you have enough within you to reawaken, to, to lead others. That's for sure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here in that circle. So yes, it might be dangerous, but does it worth it?
I have the same fear. Once you dive in and completely be like, an energy person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, how do you maintain that level all the time and be like, live a normal life, and do normal things? And don't know, there is also like a feeling of like, okay, you could jump fully into this, but like, yeah, it's scary.
I
Feels
would
like.
say that there is still some good margin until you become that saint that will be completely disconnected from this life. We have some good margin that we can still go and achieve some spiritual stuff, and still we are like Sarah last time. She told me, I love what you're teaching, but I don't see you glowing and everything like in the daily life. I say, yes, you know what, I'm still a human being going through my stuff and up and downs and up and downs. Yes. So going through this path will not give you any shortcut anyway. You will still have to handle your material life. You will still have to handle your shadows, and you will still do all of this stuff. Don't worry. You won't be able to bypass this because you're on Earth. It will just give you more it would just give you the ability to do all those things, the things that you want to do anyway, from a place of balance, from a place of alignment with the divine, instead of doing it from a place of fear or from a place whatever. Because when you're holding this restricted state of consciousness, you still have a longing to do all those things, and you think about it all the time, right? So it still occupies your mind. It still occupies space in your hard drive, but it's there. But what do you do with it?
Ava, maybe we can do another shift on that. Like just being scared to
Yes.
be open to
Yes.
receive so much light.
Yes. So absolutely.